Hey guys, this is Gloria. So I am here because one of my subbies wanted to know how I created these little rosette flowers that I normally use on projects and stuff. And actually, whenever I make them, I make a bunch of them and just put them in like a little storage container, and then that way I just have them to grab and I can use them as I please. And then once I go to use them, I may put a sticker on them. These are some other stickers that I have that are actually just some Tim Holtz word stickers that I took some watercolor and just kind of splashed it all over it, and you know, I just left them on this sticker sheet, and I just use them when I need them. So what you're gonna need for this project, and first off, let me go back and say that a lot of stuff that I learned from YouTube. I may have an idea, but then I will go to YouTube to see if someone else has either tried it or someone has a tutorial on it or a video. Like most of us, we all have these great ideas, but you know, there's not enough time in a day to sit there and try every single thing that comes to mind. And so YouTube is a great place to come to find out what others have done in the past, or how you can actually take an idea and change it up a bit and make it your own pretty much. But there are a lot of tutorials here on YouTube on how to make crepe paper flowers. And so what you're going to use is just the inexpensive crepe paper, similar to this. And I got these rolls from the Dollar Tree, and they are $1, and I believe they come 2 in a pack. You can also get it offline. You can also buy it in sheets. You know, there's a bunch of different ways you can buy crepe paper, but the most inexpensive way to me is to just go and pick it up from the Dollar Tree. And so what I also use are punches, and this is one of my recollection circle punches, and this is a 1.6. It's almost like a 1.5, but it's a little bit larger than that. And I'm hoping I'm in frame because the camera is like above my head and I can't really see it. And then I also use this 1-inch EK Success punch, and this is a great punch. It's a very sturdy, strong punch, and I really like this because I noticed that some punches that I use when it's time to cut out the heavy recollection glitter paper, it has a really hard time trying to cut that out. So just be very careful in whatever punches you guys use. Just make sure that it's strong enough to go through, and don't force it because you will break your punch. You can break punches. So what I do is I cut out different you know, little centers that I may want to use, and this is just some gold recollection paper. I also have some other little circles here in different papers, corrugated cardboard. I also have this little rose here that comes from one of my rose dies that will also look really pretty as a little flower center. But it's really cool to just kind of prepare a bunch of them and have them on hand, you know, so that you can use them on projects. So what I do is I normally take a piece of the crepe paper, and honestly, I really don't measure it, but in this case I did. It's about 22 inches, only because my mat is about 22 inches, so that's what I used. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can make them. As you can see, this one is like a more like a rose where I twisted it on itself. So this one is a little bit different than, let's say, this one, which is a lot easier. I mean, all of them are easy, but this one just has a different look to it. And then lastly, this one has a different look to it. It has more of a petaled look. And so that's the one I'm going to show you first, is the one with the petaled look to it. So to get the petaled look one, all you're going to do is just fold your crepe paper and just keep folding it on itself. And it doesn't really matter how you fold it, as long as you fold it. And then if you have a little end piece left over, you can just cut that little end piece off so that it's straight. You don't have to, but that's what I do. So I'll have my paper just like that, and as a matter of fact, I'll fold it one more time, and then I have this little rectangle piece here, and this measures probably about 2.5 inches, but you don't have to measure it. It doesn't really matter. So, you know what, I'm not gonna fold it that second time. I'm just gonna leave it this long. And so what I'm going to do is I am just going to take my scissors and just kind of make a petal looking curvy line. And I'm just going up and down until I come to the end. And once I come to the end of that, then this is what I am left with, are these little pieces here. So with those pieces, all you're going to do is just kind of gather them up in kind of a feather shape. And you can kind of pinch the ends just to kind of keep it all together. And I'm just kind of ruffling it up and pinching it as I go. And as you can see, that's how that part looks. And I can just kind of pinch it until it kind of stays together. So that's one part. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. I'll just kind of bunch it up at the ends. No rhyme or reason. Crepe paper is very forgiving. So I'm just bunching it up, and then I'm kind of pinching it. Okay? And so then that is my next little part of my little crepe paper flower. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this. Just ruffle it up and pinch as I go. And that's it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a circle. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever size you're comfortable with. I'll take this larger yellow one. I'm just going to add a little glue to it right in the middle. And I'm just going to add my little petals to it. And I'm just going to fluff it out just a little bit as I go in order to make sure that, make sure that I cover the entire little disc. If you don't cover the entire disc, you can always go back and cut more. And so that's how that looks so far. Okay. And so what you can do is you can stop here and you can just kind of go around with your scissors and like trim this up. And then that way they're all kind of the same length. And you can stop here if you want, and you can add a little flower center, and then you have your little single layer crepe paper flower. And once you add it to your projects, it looks really cute. I mean, it is, you know, it doesn't take much for them to look cute. Or you can do kind of like what I did and kind of double up on the layers. So I'll just tear off another piece, cut the end, and I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of, I'm sorry, I'm over here out of frame, but I'm just rolling it on itself again. And I will again just make a flower shape, squiggly, kind of squiggly line here. And that's how that one came out, and that's fine. I'm just gonna do the same thing, kind of ruffle it up, and this time I'm going to add it directly to the flower just by putting a little bit of hot glue there and just adding it there. And then I'll ruffle it up some more. It's real simple. And like I said, crepe paper is so forgiving that, you know, you can just kind of do it however you need to do it. And it'll still look very pretty in the end, promise. And I'm just adding a little bit of glue. Just be very careful because hot glue will burn the bejesus out of you. And so that's how it looks with 2 layers. And I normally don't go over 2 layers. I think 2 layers is good enough. And so I'm just kind of pressing it down in the middle while that glue is still kind of tacky. And then, like I said, you can just add your flower center, whatever you're going to use as a flower center, right to the middle. So I'll put a little bit of glue right in the middle and just add a little piece of paper to the middle that I punched out. And then you can go back in and you can trim up any little areas that have come out of, that are not, as pretty as you would like them to be. But then that's it. And that is how you make your crepe paper flowers. Super, super simple. Very, very easy to make and very forgiving. So, that is that. One of, it's just one of these. You can also layer the colors up and you can do all kind of things with those. The other one I'll show you with this piece here. That one is made, this one here is made a little bit different. And the only thing that I did was I just rolled it. And so I rolled it down on itself like this. And then I rolled it here. And then the other rolls are just flipping it backwards on itself and twisting it around and rolling it. Just rolling it around on itself. You can do the same thing with actual ribbon and make ribbon flowers with it. But this is all I do. I just roll it behind itself. Just keep rolling it, keep twisting and rolling, twisting and rolling. This is all I do. You can make them as large as you want. You can make them as small as you want. But you're going to do the same basic thing that I'm doing here, which is just twisting the crepe paper behind itself and rolling it just like that. And that is a small little flower. You can layer that on top of that one and put another flower center in the middle, which looks super duper cute. So I think I'm going to do that. All I do is just put a little bit of hot glue right behind there. And just tack it down in a couple of different places with a little bit of hot glue. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the middle and add another little center to it. And that is ready to use on a project, on a card, on a pinwheel, on anything that you would like to use it on. So that is about it, guys. I hope that made sense. I hope that I was in frame. If you guys have any other questions or comments, please leave them down below. And I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.